Once nationalism takes root, hanging on to a scattered empire becomes nearly impossible. The locals will fight, they will resist, and history shows this again and again. Take the British Empire. When the tide of nationalism rose across its colonies, Britain understood the game was changing. In most cases, it didn't fight bitter wars to cling to power. Instead, it negotiated its way out, strategically, often reluctantly, but without all-out military campaigns. Contrast that with France. Paris chose the battlefield. It fought in Vietnam and lost. It fought in Algeria and lost again. Two brutal, bloody wars that marked the end of French colonial ambitions. But then there was Russia. A completely different story. Unlike Britain or France, Russia's empire was contiguous, land linked to land, held together by the might of the Red Army. It didn't need ships or distant colonies. Wherever Soviet troops stood, Moscow could keep control. For decades, it held on to Eastern Europe, at enormous cost. In the early years under Stalin, the Soviet Union rebuilt rapidly. Industry boomed. The regime projected power like never before. But then came the 1960s and 70s. Something shifted. The Soviet economy kept growing, but not fast enough. The West surged ahead, and the gap widened year after year. And that gap compounded quietly, relentlessly, until it became impossible to ignore. Fast forward to today, Russia's standard of living is lower than Mexico's. There's nothing wrong with Mexico, but for a country that sees itself as a great power with a vast empire, the contrast is staggering. It's a story of ambition colliding with reality, of military might outpacing economic strength, and of empires learning, sometimes the hard way, that holding on is often harder than conquering in the first place. Do you think modern powers can sustain large spheres of influence in the age of nationalism? Or are empires destined to fade? Drop your thoughts in the comments.